Welcome to Expand Your Empire, the podcast where women stop deferring wealth and start building financial power. I'm Amanda Taylor, investor, strategist, and disruptor of outdated money rules. It's time to own your worth, grow your assets, and build a legacy that lasts. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Expand Your Empire. I am excited to talk about this today because it's pretty important to me. A, because I think it's important to everyone, and B, because it's something that I struggled with for a long time and honestly still do. So I'm going to talk about something that most of us weren't taught to trust, and that is ourselves. Because if you're anything like me, you've probably spent years looking outside of yourself for the answers, especially when it comes to money and investing and your business. And we've all been trained to believe that we need more credentials or licenses or logic or evidence before we're really allowed to move. But what if I told you that the evidence is already inside of you? So what I really want to talk about is strategy and self-trust. And your ability to build wealth is directly tied to your ability to trust your own inner wisdom. And honestly, a few months ago, I didn't even know what that meant. Intuition, inner wisdom. What does that even mean? I am the most analytical, logical, spreadsheet, whiteboard, evidence-based person you will ever meet. And then, I discovered human design and the gene keys, and I want to get more into that in this podcast as we kind of go through things. But I learned that I'm a generator, and I learned that I'm supposed to respond with my intuition and with my gut. And I'm like, I don't even know what that feels like. What are you talking about? So it's something that I'm learning as well. But the more research I do, because I do love the data and I love the research, it's actually science too. So I overthink everything. And if I have an idea, I get really excited by it. And then I spiral into research, comparison, delay. And I call it being responsible, because any responsible person would look at every possible outcome, every possible scenario, right? But really, it's just fear, fear of getting it wrong, or fear of being too much, or fear of failing in front of other people, especially failing with money. And let's be real, overthinking is exhausting. I asked my partner the other day, I'm like, don't you have voices inside your head that are constantly reminding you of all the things you have to do? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand how people can live that way, but it is exhausting. It keeps us spinning instead of starting. And wealth doesn't come from spinning, it comes from movement. So here's where it gets fascinating. I said science. It's finally catching up to what a lot of women have known for generations, and what I'm just figuring out. There was a study published in Psychology Today, and I've actually read it in some other books, The Neuroscience of Women's Intuition. And it confirms that women's brains are biologically wired to integrate logic and emotion better than men's. There is a part of our brain called the corpus callosum. I probably mispronounced that, but it's the part of the brain that connects both the right and the left hemispheres, and it's thicker in women, which means that we're more naturally able to synthesize data and feeling in our decision making. So that's not woo-woo magic, manifestation, anything. It's actual science. So when you feel that gut pull, it's not irrational, it's intelligence. And it's your body giving you a signal. While it may not be visible in the numbers yet, it's still real nonetheless. So what does it actually look like to combine strategy with self-trust? Because there's only so far intuition can take you, especially in the world of building wealth. So yes, you have to gather your data. You have to learn the basics. You have to run your numbers, but then you have to ask, does this feel right in my body? And do you even know how to listen to your body? I am learning. I am learning. But your body knows, your intuition knows. You've just been taught to override it. So for me, I'm having to learn to pause before big moves and really listen to that intuition, that gut response. Take a breath, check in, letting the strategy be my foundation, because I will do the research. I will do my due diligence. I will look at the facts, but then letting the alignment in my body, in my intuition, be that green light. That is the difference between hustling and building. So let's talk about something we don't hear enough. We were built for this. Now, we've been told that money is too complicated, too risky, or too serious. But here's the truth. Women are some of the most powerful investors on the planet, not because we're trying to beat the boys. I am not some male bashing feminist, but it's because our approach is very different. We are patient, we are intentional, and we are aware. And the studies, they back it up. We tend to stick with long-term plans. We trade less impulsively. We don't have shiny object syndrome near as often. We avoid overtrading. And during moments of stress, when there are economic downturns like the 2020 crash, female managed funds outperformed men's by a whole percentage point. And I think I talked about in the last episode, I didn't remember the statistic, but I have it right now. According to Fidelity, women outperform men by 0.4% annually overall, not in a downturn. In the downturn, it was 1%. So in moments of stress, we are more solid. We diversify more naturally. We don't put all our eggs in one basket because we think more forward thinking. And we focus on long-term, values-aligned investing. Why? Because intuition paired with grounded strategy is a superpower. And that's what I'm trying to tell everyone. When we read between the lines and pay attention to leadership and ethics and values and not just the numbers, we know when something doesn't feel right, even if the spreadsheet says something different. That is not a weakness. That is wisdom. So if you've ever felt like investing isn't for you, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Absolutely is. You're not too late. You're not too emotional. You're not missing anything. You're just waiting for the right doorway. And that's why I created this podcast. That's why I created this community. And I've created a course inside the community, the Investor Academy, because we all have to start from the same place. Even though you have the intuition, but the education matters. And so does feeling safe and seen and supported while you're learning. Inside our Investor Academy, we're going to break down to the basics what investing really means, the language and terms that used to feel intimidating. We're going to dive deep into. You're going to understand them, what they mean, how they work, how to make your first move, even if you're starting with as little as $50, and how to trust yourself while you build. It's not about becoming a financial expert overnight. It's about building confidence, clarity, and a portfolio that reflects your values. That is where we reclaim our power together. So here's what I want you to focus on and ask yourself this week. Where have I been outsourcing my decision? And what would shift if I trusted my gut more? Who out there is like me? Who seeks facts? Who seeks evidence? Who wants to know every possible outcome before they make a move? Anyone? What would shift if I trusted my gut more? And where can I combine what I know with what I feel? So this is the work, and you do not have to do it alone. Come join us inside the Expand Your Empire community. Come be part of the Investor Academy. You don't need to know everything. You just need to show up and be willing, because the real strategy, it starts with self-trust, and we're here to grow that together. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you learn to listen to that little voice inside. I'm learning to listen. I'm learning to pause. I'm learning to breathe. I'm learning to feel. and you think that that has nothing to do with money, but it has everything to do with growing your wealth. So thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time. If this lit something up, share it, review it, and get in the room. Join the Expand Your Empire community and start turning wisdom into wealth. You're not too late, and you're not doing this alone.